Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing more Esper Midrange, or by more I'm going to be reapproaching the Esper Midrange deck. As you'll notice right away, we do not have any of the top end stuff like Shieldred, or we're no longer stacking on Nganjos, Odawara, and Takenuma like we have in the past. Instead of kind of focusing on more of this lower to the ground mid-rangey style where we are going to not really do anything turn one, set up a nice turn two play, or hold up something like a make disappear or an interaction spell like a go for the throat maybe, and then on turn three kind of play one of our important cards and progress the game from there. Outside of that, we're just going to get into the game, see how they go, and I hope you all enjoy. And if you do enjoy my content, please be sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Now let's just get out there into the games. All right, we get to go first. We actually have not that bad of a hand here. Seems a little deceiving. We have like low drops. Being on the play is a big contributor to this hand's success. Technically have a 2-drop to play. Play Deserted Beach as well because we have the black mana coming in untapped here. Pass, we'll see. We could have done it preemptively to make sure like make disappear wasn't an option. Worst case scenario, this gets hit with make disappear and then the client still runs buggy as hell. Who knows? Now we could attack for this, or we can play a Rafine that kind of has some protection on it. So let's go ahead and establish that game plan. We attack, that draws. We're looking for land. I want to say if this is control, Lord Skitter generally is not going to have a whole lot of value because I don't think it's going to beat down a Sunfall or Populate or something. 3 mana. Virtue, because Virtue doesn't answer Rafine. We find a Darkslick Shore is not necessarily what we want. I guess we attack here. We draw, see kind of what we want to establish with our hand. I guess I'll let the Shores go. We have a Plaza to play, and right now Plaza attached for every color of mana we need it to. Pass. Emperor, huh? Pass. Is it combat? Back for 1. Do at some point need to get like a counter on this creature. Is it just Esper control, or do we need to just go for the throat? I'm gonna let the go for the throat go. I need this creature to be a little bit bigger just to apply more pressure. I mean, it goes from an 18 turn clock to like a 9 turn clock. And then we will, I guess wedding announcement's fine, right? Just get it established and we have a make disappear held up. A little bit of a mistake, by the way. We should have used this Plaza. We'll allow that to happen. We can tap for a blue with this because of our Rafine, but if they would have removed Rafine on our instep there, we would no longer have access to a blue. There's something to take into account here in the future. They just leave up the Shores along with the Sanctum. But it is kind of deceiving though. If they try to Sunfall here, we get to take care of it. Very deceiving. Alright, well. For us now, I think is just a combat situation. Do it here just in case. Oh boy. Destroy evil and probably a Denic. Gotta go. That's bigger. We hit for 5. And then we'll play this so Wandering Emperor is no longer an option. We'll draw a card. Virtue will trigger. Untap our things. Farewell could happen, of course, which would suck. It does. They don't do graveyards? Oh. Just get wedding announcement in. We have a cycle and a Tidebinder possible. I haven't seen Farewell in a very long time. Like, just like being consistently played. And now it seems like it's getting played more and more. Let's try to cycle here. I don't really want to flash this in if I don't have to. Just keep drawing cards. Get that good value while we can. Was it combat? 1. Sure. We'll take that all day. Now we'll play a Denic, hopefully. 3-2. Get a land down. We'll make a 1-1. You now have 4 damage kind of in play. Still awkwardly that 3-turn clock. We do get to make a creature here potentially. I would assume this is trying to hold up mana to Memory Deluge, maybe even Emperor, but we'll have a Tidebinder for that. So make this 2-2. Get to combat. Our Denic is legendary, so our Plaza can actually protect it here. We'll have mana for Tidebinder. One of the problems with targeting a Denic. Yep. I get to blow all this out, potentially.
Feel the energy of battle,
Sure.
then guide it like water.
Now we throw up his Tidebinder. We'll hit this mate. We'll hit this Emperor. This Emperor now no longer has any abilities. Get some damage in. We just draw another card. And now, kind of in a hopeful mood here. A thin 1 card. We have no land. We'll pass. We know this from previous games that we've played because we did it to Esper ourselves. Did you rip it? Celestis. Not quite it. Oh, dude, it's so brutal.
See you later. Guards, to me.
So brutal indeed. We'll cut down this while we got the opportunity to do so. And we'll play this and blow up the Celestis while we can. Alright, put you in that top deck mode. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to find a 2-mana removal spell. Honestly, cutting down the creature probably is a mistake. We probably should have left up the Virtue to give ourselves a bigger opportunity to win. Game 1, maybe making a little bit of mistakes here. Cards are selected. Little rune. Down. Man. Got it. Do have it. Sure. And we'll just play our Rafine. We'll see. Another Field of Ruin. Those do just blow up our lands. We'll do Virtue. The combat. The attack. In case it's an Emperor, we want to target this. Fair enough. Play this Virtue. Play Cave because they obviously have 2 wastelands in a sense to blow up 2 of our lands. Fine. Can do it again. Oh, they don't? That's weird. I feel like they would do it again, but maybe they're trying to play around a creature land. Is it just this and bust? So we're going to give ourselves another opportunity. We're going to cycle. So we obviously need to hit a non-land card. Again, have to hit a non-land card here. Unless they have the card. Go for it. We got it. We got it there. That's like one of the real small things that you sometimes have to make sure you're keeping an eye on, where if we did not actually cycle that land first, we would have hit another land and we would have missed lethal by 1. Go first? Man, our mana just is awkward, huh? We're going to try it. We're going to go for it. Going to try it. Air tower. Midrange to maybe play. We have make this Pierce, maybe hold up. Depends if we get an untapped source here. Dinos. Ooh, we found the source. Now for them to play a cavern. And then our destroy evil will actually be good. That'd be sweet. Red source? Cavern, maybe? Ooh. Maybe not idealistically what they want to play. I mean, we're in the kind of the same boat. Let's get this land down tapped and we'll just pass turn. If I can get value out of a deck that's playing cavern with our make this appears now, I want to. Or kind of wait till we get a Rafine to start pitching them. Long land. We're going to play the 5/3 Ward 2 guy. I mean, I'm still getting hit. That goes and gets a land for him. Then they can activate it potentially next turn. Play this. We'll play a Decklist. Now they can no longer really attack us. And immediately gain that life back that they've kind of taken from us, and can also be kind of aggressive with this Decklist. Rain. Kind of bad as of right now. Can't imagine a whole lot of cases in which it's going to be good for us. Land. Well, 5th mana for dinos, I guess, is really what I wanted to say. Well, then it's gone. We don't really get that mana back. Let's progress. Let's play this Decklist. Let's remove this out of the way. Dino is not known for having a lot of mana, like in terms of actual lands to play. A lot of times they end up missing like the 5th drop. You see a fight rigging here. Cartax, you're going to get value. Look at that. Best draw here is probably a land. So we can play this, blow that up. But we have to play this. Because if they play the 3 mana 6/6, they're going to probably blow us out. Unless we wanted to hold up make this here. We could also use this to blow up a fight rigging at some point. Might have to be now, you never know. We also might be able to do it in reverse order next turn. Just keep attacking for this 4 damage. And then make this appear the dinos as they play. Or destroy evil if the creature is too big. Into combat, attack. A lot of interaction right now. We will pass. Would love to get this wedding announcement established. I just don't think we can. As I said before, by the way, notice that they only have 4 mana. We do 2, but for as big of creatures as Dino plays and as expensive as they are, the fight rigging version, which we didn't know at the time of the statement, generally doesn't actually play a ton of lands. It's actually kind of short and relies on the mana dorks and stuff. Ooh, there's the cavern. Would have thought. Well, now we definitely just have to kind of hold and wait. So comes up, we find the land. Let's go. I'm gonna play a wedding announcement. Gets us down. We're gonna move to combat. We need to draw cards, find something on the top end to close this game out potentially. Rafine's a good one. Rafine's a really good one. Now, of course, we could make this appear something. When they play a big dino, we can just remove the creature. Do they just have like an Atali or something left? Let us just be mana efficient while we can get this off the board, so we don't accidentally slip and fall to a good play. Let's play Rafine. Combat. Attack here. Third path. Land. Honestly, both lands. Doesn't get any bigger, but make this pier not good in theory, but can still pick up another copy of Fight Rigging if needed. There's a bat that we can get a look at their hand. Probably worst case scenario, probably. Can't counter it. Not even gonna pretend to. What did they hit for us? A bat? Okay. We do make this appear, or the battlefield look like? They get 1 block. We have 3 attacks, so we can bend all these cards away. Well, not necessarily, right? Oh boy. If I do the bat, they don't get any of my cards. I can go for the throat this and I can attack whatever they don't block. If I draw another non-land card, oh no, I can just, okay, yeah. We're gonna do the bat here. So we don't want them to look at our hand and take anything away. My turn. I gave myself maximum draw opportunities here. No longer needed. So if I drew a land, we were fine, because then we'd be able to bring up this and then go for the throat this out of the way, and then we'd have enough attackers in terms of getting lethal across. Or which I'm going to go ahead and go through it so our opponent doesn't have to wait. Or we needed a situation like this where I can attack, put all these counters on my Rafine, and in case of this happening, we have it covered where we've been all 3 of these. Now, no matter how they block, we get exactly 6 through, and we follow up the game with a win, because the Tali does not have reach. Very nice for us. Yeah, like I was saying, we either needed to draw an untapped source, which obviously we had these. We bent 2 of them earlier, so we're less likely to draw these slow land or these fast lands. So the option of hitting that was less. So we could either hit a land, and then we can bring this up. We would have go for the throat mana and get to attack with this anchorage, which would be 4 creatures attacking, and then they would just die to the amount of creatures, because we'd put some amount of counters on here and it would just be enough overall. Or we don't draw a land, and what happens, where we draw another permanent card and we're able to discard it and make Rafine big enough on its own. One of those first. We have 1 tap land, an untap land, an untap land, and like plays the play. So I think it's fine. We'll try to get ahead of this game here. Play a tower. Argument could have been we should hold the tower just in case we need to cycle it later, but refuse. The hold make disappear or not the hold make disappear? These are the questions we must ask, but I'm gonna bat. Take the graveyard trespasser for now. Oh, what is this for? They steal our permanents or something. I can't remember. Oh, nice draw. Really nice draw. Now we can allow that to actually hit. So we'll play a Plaza. We'll play a Rafine. Yes. We'll attack with the bat, and we'll gain some life back here. Let's get this land out. I know the man land might be important later, but right now I think we need to untap sources and ones that don't deal us any damage. Because hopefully here what our plan would be. They attack, we block, of course. A little bonk and a little boonk. Now land and they play one of those. They do not have the mana. Okay. They sack one of those because I can bring them back from the graveyard. They do find a land. Okay. Find another land. not really where we want to be. We could blow this up, but I think holding up Make Disappear to stagger their current plays that they got going on makes more sense to me anyway. We're going to do this. Let a Rafine and a Plains go. Really relying on a Rafine to stick around long term. And then we will pass. And our life gain will outpace this tenacious underdog. Want to use Make Disappear now instead of later. The reason why is because if they play one more mana source, we won't be able to Make Disappear this without sacrificing a creature of our own. We do also need to get one more counter on this bat, or even this Rafine, because Cut Down can actually remove them. And the less spells we have to deal with, the better. We'll play this. We'll play the third path, blowing up their journal. It can only be activated at a sorcery speed. Trying to put a lot of the pressure on if I can. The attack, I think we want back to outgrow if we can, or we'll just keep flooding, I guess. How many lands is that? All of them? So we have 5, 6, 7. I'm actually wondering just for math reasons. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So we've almost drawn double the amount of lands. So that'll stick, of course. We know that. Or we knew that that was going to happen. They just passed. Let's get this gone. You're down to top deck mode. Keep drawing lands, huh? Let's move to combat. I actually rather trigger this because I don't think I'm ever giving us a scenario where we want to draw cards. There we go. We won't get to grow it at all. Card 3. Honestly, all these lands can just go at this point. That's fine with me. That is also fine. Now, if they want to bring the underdogs back, they're going to be in a lot of pain to do so. Sure. We'll trigger. They'll target. We'll just Tidebinder it, I think. I want them to gain life. We can get ward off of it. Don't know if you knew that or not. Sure. Would you like to sack? Because I'm not choosing. What? My turn. Move to combat. Let's attack. Want to make sure this damage is actually hitting. I'm actually going to put it on Rafine now. Cut Down can go. Adenic can go. Honestly, both Denics can just go. I don't really care to play either of them here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's like really close to just lethal. Now they're kind of forced to block. And if they do block our Tidebinder, we just allow it to happen. Like, we don't care to remove it, is what I'm trying to say. Making sure that we can give our Rafine, like that hexproof we need to give it. We need to give our Rafine hexproof or activate this virtue and play it. We want to be able to do so. Because we want to be able to do Plaza. Destroy Evil will have to go. Solve. Destroy Evil's gone. Now we have our virtue still. What do you have for me? Another Hopeless Nightmare. That'll enter. That'll trigger. We'll cycle. Response. Now we have the Plaza to protect their creatures, even though they're empty-handed, so it doesn't really matter. That is going to be the game. That's like one of the hard parts about playing a card like Hopeless Nightmare, is when you top deck them, like, they're so good turn 1. Like, Hopeless Nightmare on turn 1 is so incredibly good. And then you get to play like a Braids and then like sack them and then get the scry value and then potentially draw, and your opponent either has to sack their wedding announcement and to not give you value, which gives you value either way. or you just have to decline and then they're drawing a card, you're losing some life. Like, they're definitely good cards, don't get me wrong. That is the scenario in which, man, this card sucks. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I haven't had a hand with Schooner yet, so we'll try. All right. They mull him once. We keep. We'll play Dark Slick Shores. Off. It looks like blue-white. Underground. We'll play the Schooner. Most likely try to slip in this Tidebinder next turn. Actually, I'm lying. Wedding announcement. We'll take one turn off in attack to just play a wedding announcement if we can. You have the thing. You do. You have Get Lost. You boy. Fine. Not that bad, right? Prairie lockdown. That would suck. That would be annoying. Let's play a Plaza here. I mean, we're gonna go for it. Let's play Rafine. Let's move to combat. Let's attack. Rafine is going to put a counter on here. This is like a crazy synergy theory. What would you like to do? Rafine's targeting the Schooner, but Schooner is targeting Rafine. You have double smite here. I mean, if you're going to take 2 cards to do that, fantastic. That card can go in the graveyard because that card's not very good. Map here. Let's double check. Virtue. I don't think we need you right now. We're going to set up a couple wedding announcements. We just kind of want to hit another land. We also have a 3/6. Like, a decently sized creature. Miss a land drop. That's going to happen sometimes when you are playing these type of decks. Well, not these type of decks. That is going to happen sometimes when you have to mulligan with these type of decks, especially in best of 1. We find it pretty hard to stick around sometimes. Put all our eggs in one basket, because why not? Yeah, more wedding announcements, sure. More announcements for more weddings. How many weddings can we have this year, Johnny? I don't know. All of them. Don't you dare remove it. Coward. I got rid of my Rafine. Give it back. It's like bad, right? But also like, really? Play this. Let's end turn. You know, let's make 2 more creatures. Maybe they'll draw out of it. There's a land that helps them draw out. No memory deluge available, though. This is the populate angle. That revelry. That's sure. Draw. They gain a little bit of life back. A bat? A bat? Batting away. Bat number 1. Just been holding that one, big dog. Yes. But now I kind of have to commit to playing both these bats. All right. No attacks. I think the massive board state we'll have next turn on these attacks is way more important. I'd argue it's the same. It's messed up. Not a fan. Not a fan of that. We've used 2 Elspeth Smites already. A white mana. Oh, did they draw Sunfall? It's so annoying. They pick so fast. Let's play another one of these. I want to draw maximum cards if I can. Oh, make this appear. Applause, chat. Fired off. On guard. Did I say that right? One opponent. I'm waiting. So hear me out. We let that resolve. Because if they have another temporary lockdown in hand, we get blown out. We want them to spend all their mana to do this. Gain 1 life. Yes, sir. Now, when they play temporary lockdown, we boom. Now they have no options, and we get there against control, thanks to the bats and the wedding announcements drawing us all the cards. I'm so tired, chat. It's been a long day. We had a Christmas party and stuff. Outro time. Who would have thought? Esper mid-range is as good as it's been in a very long time. And that's thanks to some new pieces and new cards from Ixalan. That is the Tidebinder and the Deep Cavern Bat. And a card that's kind of slipped itself up in terms of total count would be the Virtue of Loyalty. The amount of times you sometimes get to play Virtue and just have it kind of untap everything, make an Emperor a little less important, make things that can kind of deal with it a little less important, like kind of like Cut Down or Elspeth Smite or anything that deals damage, like maybe Play with Fire or Lightning Strike. The Virtue was allowing us to outgrow those a lot of times, and that's very nice. The other thing I like from the last time I played it, Esper, like mid-range, is we stopped this idea of playing 2 Nganjos, 2 Odawaras, a Takenuma, or some lists were even on 3 Nganjos and 2 Odawaras. Like, we just stopped doing that, which is great. I'm a big fan of that. And we're able to now finally just put in spells that matter in the matchups that we're playing in, especially in Best of 1. Schooner also is a new card that I was going to get to. Also kind of frees up that possibility because of the exploring, getting more lands, the Rafine being able to throw some away, Wedding Announcement drawing us cards to get out of those mana flood zones, and then things like Virtual Loyalty come in on the back end at a 5 mana cost, so we want to be hitting lands as much as we can. And then also getting more lands established in play allows our plaza of heroes to be a lot more active. So I definitely enjoyed this mid-range version way more than I did the other versions in the past, just because we didn't have access to as good of cards as we do now. Like I said, again, we have the Bat, we have the Schooner, we have Tidebinder, and then Virtue, again, I think got a little bit more added in as we kind of went on. We don't play Shielders now, which is kind of cool, because Shielded was more of a, do you have an answer? If you do, okay, great, it was a good game, I'll move on. But if you don't have an answer, Shielded can keep you in it. But especially when you get like an attack with Rafine in and you gain all that life back. But instead, we are just valuing more of a low to the ground strategy, playing kind of to the board, on the board, and protecting the board, almost like the blue-white mid-range would, or like the Simic flash deck from the past, or the current kind of like way that some of the blue-white soldiers decks are playing, where we're kind of just interacting with you on your turn, and then kind of playing our bombs and bullets that we want to get out, and then interact with you in terms of, we have our like 7 interactive spells in terms of dealing with things like Sunfall, Depopulate, or things like that. So we just have to be mindful of those and be ready to take care of them. And then along with these answers, we have the Tidebinder when it comes to more like Planeswalker type effects or something like that. So we can shut all those off. And as we saw today, it worked pretty well, curved pretty well. So I hope you all enjoyed. That's going to be it for me today. Maybe a little bit shorter one than normal. I know I've been doing about 50 minutes. These have been about a couple 30, but kind of happens when I have to go back to work, like for the week, you know. I don't have as much time to kind of record a lot longer. So I hope you all enjoyed. I really do. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.